HowExpert! Top 10 wild things you didn't know about mushrooms and fungi. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit HowExpert.com to learn more. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more HowExpert Top 10 videos in the future. Moving on, let's talk about the HowExpert Top 10 Wild Things You Didn't Know About Mushrooms and Fungi. Number 10. Without fungi, we wouldn't have chocolate, bread, beer, and many other food and beverages. Not only do fungi help certain trees grow, such as the case with the cacao tree, which is vital for the chocolate bars we know and love, they're also small, almost invisible ingredients in some of our favorite snacks and drinks. Yeast ferments ingredients to make them more palatable for humans to eat. Cacao beans are bitter and inedible without yeast. Bread wouldn't rise or become glutinous without yeast. Beer would lack its bubbly texture and delicious fermented flavors if there was no yeast around. Thank you, fungi, for the scrumptious additions to our grocery stores. Number 9. Some mushrooms have clever names related to how they look, like dead man's fingers. One of the wildest and creepy-looking mushrooms out there is nicknamed dead man's fingers. This mushroom, with the fancy Latin name of Xylaria polymorpha, survives on dead organic matter. If you want to look for it, search near dead tree stumps and other forms of decaying wood in many forest-like areas. Its small clubs are dark-colored and, as the name suggests, finger-like. They may have the appearance of a hand coming out from under the dead log it is consuming. Spooky. Number 8. Mushrooms can't make their own food like plants can. A common misconception about mushrooms is that they're plants. While they grow outside in similar places, mushrooms are their own group. They need to eat food to survive, just like animals. They do this by spitting out enzymes into the environment, then consuming this outside of their structures. Plants, on the other hand, use the sun, water, and carbon dioxide to internally make their own sugars for food. In this sense, we're more similar to mushrooms. In fact, overall, our DNA is more similar to a mushroom than a plant. We share other odd similarities, like the ability to make vitamin D inside with exposure to the sun. Number 7. Mushrooms can be used as medicine and have even been noted to be cancer-fighting. The most notable medical use of fungi is antibiotics, or penicillin, which is a secondary compound made by molds. The discovery of this bacteria-fighting powerhouse was accidental, but important nonetheless. Today, the use of fungi to fight infections has saved millions of people around the world and continues to do so. Another important medicinal mushroom is reishi. Some studies say that this particular mushroom boosts the immune system and even fights cancer. Reishi mushrooms are packed full of many compounds like beta-glucans that help slow the growth and spread of cancer cells in the body. The legitimacy of more natural remedies continues to gain traction, especially as notable studies continue to surface. Number 6. Fungi is virtually everywhere on planet Earth. Fungi can survive in many different conditions. We notice them growing in our lawns or when we take a hike, but we sometimes fail to realize how widespread these organisms are. There are fungi species that thrive in Arctic and cold temperatures, even surviving thawing and freezing despite being mostly water. Fungi grow in water, on rocks, on dung, underground, high in trees, and practically everywhere in between. There are an estimated 5 million or more species of fungi. Number 5. Some mushrooms light up at night. Bioluminescence occurs in many species of mushrooms that grow on almost every continent. This unique ability developed evolutionarily to attract animals to them. Those animals then eat the glowing, eye-catching mushrooms. Hours or days later, when that snack passes through their systems, dropping the spores in various areas, these mushrooms have a special molecule that reacts with oxygen and produces light. Usually, this is a green-colored light. This is the same mechanism that allows fish and fireflies to grow as well. Number 4. Mushrooms have umami. First of all, what is umami? Umami is the 5th flavor used to describe foods. The other 4 are sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. Umami can be described as a meaty or savory flavor. This type of flavor is harder to get from non-animal sources. Many mushrooms have this flavor, making them a favorite for chefs worldwide. Their deep, rich flavors can match well with pastas, soups, pizzas, and more. Number 3. Fungi have an incredible ability to communicate with each other and other organisms like trees. Mushrooms are the reproductive structure of a fungi organism. These fruit up from the ground while lots of the body and brains of the fungi lives underground, mycelium. These white threads communicate and create a network with other fungi and plants. They can share nutrients and food, as well as chemical signalers. When this occurs between a plant and a mushroom, both benefit in some way. A German scientist has a theory that trees communicate with each other by sending chemicals through fungal networks. Number 2. Psychedelic mushrooms have been decriminalized in many countries worldwide and even some places in the U.S. Austria, Brazil, Jamaica, Netherlands, and Samoa are all countries with legalization, decriminalization, or otherwise some version of lax rules on possessing, selling, or growing psychedelic mushrooms. In the U.S., certain cities have decriminalized these powerful fungi. More and more research has begun to surface on their potential benefits for psychedelic medications to help those suffering with depression and other mental health issues. In medically approved and supervised trials, there's been the promise of potential solutions. However, many factors stand in the way currently for the legitimate therapeutic prescription and use, such as political, regulatory, and social hurdles. Number 1. There are mushrooms that can kill you when you eat them with alcohol. Inedible or poisonous mushrooms are not uncommon. Those toxins can shut down your body by eating them. However, the weirdest mushroom with deadly abilities is Coprinosis atramentaria, or alcohol inky cap. The name inky cap comes from the disintegration of these mushrooms to black, drippy mush when they die. The alcohol part of the name represents the deadly nature of these organisms when consumed with alcohol. These mushrooms contain coprine, which interacts negatively with alcohol. If you liked our video, be sure to click like and subscribe for more HowExpert Top 10 videos for all topics from A to Z in the future. Also, let us know what other topics that you want us to do a HowExpert Top 10 video in the future in the comments below. Thank you, have an amazing day, and take care. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit howexpert.com to learn more.